Keith, I'm a little miffed at you. You've pretty much limited your interaction with subscribers these days. I just looked at your past 15 uploaded videos and there is not a single comment by you. While we want to press likes and leave comments on videos, if you do not want to acknowledge us, then it feels like one-way traffic. As much as I enjoy your content, and you being by far my favorite YouTuber, I feel like you've changed focus to content more than community. Alright, there's a few things to unpack from this comment. First of all, you say 15 uploaded videos. That's like 2 or 3 days for me. Like, that seems like a lot for most channels, like 15 videos. Like, you haven't left a single comment in a month. This is crazy. But that's like 2 or 3 days, 2.5 days for me, basically. So it's pretty recent, especially if you consider that the last day would have been, like, you left this comment a few hours ago, so I saw it right when I was coming home from work. So that means that out of those 15 videos, like, how many did I do today? Like 6 or 7 of them were actually uploaded while they went live while I was in work. And I was working, so I wasn't even doing comments at that point in general, so like that's like a third to half of them are stuff I couldn't have responded to anyway. But honestly, yeah, I'm busy now. You in particular are someone that I recognize as being someone who's been around for a very, very, very long time. You might have been one of the people whose name I said probably when I was reading off like my top subscribers during my 1,000 subscribers video like over a year ago. But thing is, that person was an unemployed person, because I started this channel right when I was about to graduate with my degree in geology, and now I have graduated, and for like a year and a half practically, I was unemployed looking for a job and doing YouTube as like a hobby. But at some point, yeah, I got a job, so now I do a full-time job, but the full-time job pays crap. And I'm kind of sticking with it because it's supposed to help. It's supposed to be like a career path, and I'm not trying to immediately throw away my college degree and everything by abandoning the major and just going for something else immediately. But I do this as a side project, and I also do this full-time, so I'm basically working 2 full-time jobs to the point where I wake up in the morning, I go to work, I'm there until late afternoon, then I come home, and then I record a bunch of videos, and then when it's like 10 o'clock at night, I edit videos for like an hour to an hour and a half usually, and then I go to bed and start the cycle over, and that's my weekdays. Weekends are more free, thankfully, that's how weekends work, but yeah, I'm really busy all the time, so it's really difficult to respond to comments via actual comment responses. What you can do to get more luck at contacting me is you can go to Twitter. It's SebastianSB, the same username I use everywhere. I'm on Twitter. I get notifications, I check Twitter, and I respond relatively frequently because it's really easy to respond to people on Twitter. That's how you get these people blah blah blah. Zoom in. I'm doing this about as live as I can because I'm trying to get this done. With tweets and replies, let's scroll down a little bit. Look, talking to Shadow Scythe, talking to Butterfly Edge, retweeting and responding to Jesse Miller's comment. Retweeted. This is all today, because it's just easy, because it's on my phone, which I can access during lunch breaks or any other breaks, or during, there's that thumbnail, Far Cry poll, dumb picture of tabletop night. Twitter's easy. It's on my phone, I have access to it all the time, including at work, and it's not that big of a deal to just respond to something that someone says, so if you want to see me, that's the place to go to get more likely responses. And if you don't use Twitter, sorry, but sometimes you just have to be realistic about some things. But I want to illustrate a point. Because here's something to know about me, by the way. I don't like making generic responses or tokens that are not of worth, basically. So when I was like early on, I forced myself, again, no matter what, to respond to every single comment for a while, to the point where I had a backlog where it's like, oh, I'm 3 days behind on comments, but my browser would be open to like the last comment I replied to, and I'd try to catch up from there. And after a few months, the number of comments kept increasing, and it kind of become untenable. And if you keep forcing yourself to reply, you make dumb comments. You're all like, ha ha ha, you're so funny, ha ha ha, you're great. That's a funny comment. Oh yeah, I agree about that thing. And it's like, thank you for the comment, thanks for the like, thank you for watching my videos. And it's like I say that in the video itself. I thank people for watching the videos there too, but forcing myself to say it on an individual basis over and over again, it feels so fake and awful, and I don't like doing that. So I only really respond at length to comments that I can feel compelled to. And I don't really have a rule to explain about why that feeling happens, but sometimes I feel compelled to respond to comments and sometimes I don't. And it's a time thing, of course, because I will type out actual responses that I mean, like that actually are responses to that comment and not stupid blanket comments. So that's time consuming. And I want to illustrate just how time consuming that it could be. So to give you that time frame you talked about, you said 15 videos. By my estimation, rounding up a bit, that's about 3 days. So I'm going to sit here and I'm going to read aloud every comment that's happened on the channel in the last 3 days. To be fair, I can't actually do that because if people respond to old threads, I get a notification about that, and that's technically a comment. But I can't get that. I can't find that here because this is a chronological listing of threads and not the replies. So when people respond to a previous comment on an old Dark Souls video, that won't show up here. So all that stuff, responses to old threads don't show up here, but these are all new threads in the last 3 days. Eusalia is accounted as a monster, hence why she uses monster weapons and can't throw units and can't use tower abilities. Then there's the 2 copies of your comment that I've already read. Well, I feel silly. I can hear the smile when you said, "You motherfuckers, haha dude, I almost reloaded my game in utter despair because I thought Ciri had died. When I saw the sword, I was like, no fucking way." Miller is jelly. The level 75 ninja is when you combine 2 ninjas. More, this is the perfect game to stream. Too stressful to enjoy yourself, but engaging story that shouldn't be missed. You're welcome. I'm not honestly sure what that part means. Monsters can't lift, so putting them in a tower is useless. Eusalia is a monster, so you can't use tower skills with her on top. To get tower skills, just create a tower of 10 humanoid characters and then start attacking other units. Everyone in the tower will then gain new skills. If you want to start tower throw, you should keep your tankiest characters on each end. Also, you can hold right trigger to skip animations without going back to a black screen every... Is this supposed to be loading more? I feel like there's more comment there. I don't know if it got cut off or what. By the way, you'll see something already going on here. Eusalia, monster, tower. Eusalia, monster, tower. Like, people actually leave basically the same comments on the same videos sometimes. Not that there's that much wrong with that, but it does happen. But this is a good example of what I wanted to talk about a little bit, because, and by the way, Metal Gear Solid people, maybe not that person specifically, but the people who've been commenting on Metal Gear Solid videos are very aware of this, which is that I don't always respond in comment form. In fact, I haven't responded to a Metal Gear Solid comment in a long time, but I incorporate what they say in a very explicit way in future videos, and they clearly are picking up on that because they continue to give me feedback, and we're basically having a back and forth conversation even though I'm not actually responding to their comments. And they seem to appreciate that because they would leave long, like, essay-length responses to my gameplay with timecode citations and everything on my Metal Gear Solid videos to help me out with stuff. And then I would clearly respond to what they were doing in future videos. Similarly, yeah, I'll at some point figure out this tower stuff in my videos, and then we'll be doing the tower stuff correctly. And that would be cool. Yay! But yeah, I can't... responding to every single comment's not always cost effective, especially since this is an exception here, but oftentimes people are explaining stuff I already know. For example, I'm gonna get explained all sorts of stuff in future Divinity videos, but me and Wander have recorded the next 5-ish hours of that series already, so nothing new to learn there for a while. They're gonna be explaining stuff that we learned 10 minutes later, and, you know. Yay! Why doesn't it let me play any more proper story missions? It keeps making me do extreme missions. First, I couldn't help but laugh when Big Boss bazookaed the truck Ocelot marked as a new weapon to steal. No thanks, kaboom! Don't want to sound like a backseat gamer, but I think you need to hit Landon with 3 normal attacks, then hold R2 and press B to activate Mystic Art. Also, make sure that you hit all the attacks in the combo to make sure it activates. Hope this helps, but I haven't played the game, so I'm not sure. You're not wrong, but the combos are a bit janky. They lack fluidity and can't be timed easily, at least for myself. I find I just end up mashing right trigger and B when I want to do the Mystic Art, lol. I know this is old, but you left the shotgun behind after the encounter in the house. Comment on part 3 of Wasteland when we're like 30 parts in now. So like, people just point stuff out sometimes, that's fine. But yeah, I can't incorporate that feedback, and at some point that kind of stuff about the comments about what you miss happen so frequently that I just can't always respond to them. This game needs more characters because I just freaking love this game. In settings, you can turn animations off. Sorry if you're hearing gas, by the way. I'm like weirdly sort of having like this weird burpy feeling I can't escape right now. In settings, you can turn animations off. They will only show new animations, so you don't actually miss anything. Poot. 4444, unlucky, but makes sense since death times 4 for orcs. I don't even know what that one means. It's an Orcs Must Die video, so I'm pretty far removed from that at this point. Yay, been waiting for someone to continue. Fat Rollin'. Love this game. My PS4 was stolen last week, but they didn't take my PS3, and now just gotta go do a playthrough of Demon Souls. I know you weren't exactly bright with geo symbols, but after watching this, I lost count of the face and palm replacements I went through. If you were smart, you'd have left the symbols where they were, thrown everyone over to the null symbol, and broken them all for a complete reaction. Also, a red symbol on red panels cannot change anything. The writers really handled her departure poorly. Felt really forced and unnatural despite their attempts to build up to it. If you ever decide to play this again, consider playing it with Japanese voices. The voice actor for Layla passed away recently, and her work in various games and anime is always stellar. Hooray, more Soma! All hail the Talking Underpants. Great video, guys. Looking forward to checking out the rest. Teammates will actually counter you too if you attack them, purposely or accidentally, haha. Ross is a good guy, listen to him and follow his advice. I think they've made that comment like 5 times now. Lol, at that time code, you used one attack that wouldn't kill. You know you could have attacked the Geopyramid things and that would have destroyed the no entry effect. Yeah, I used the cheat shop right away and the tower strategy on level 2-1. I think steppe, as in you're from the wilderness? In physical geography, as in steppe, Russian, that stuff, is an ecoregion, a montane grasslands and shrublands and temperate grassland savannas and shrubland biomes characterized by grassland plains without trees apart from those near rivers and lakes. Assault rifles has a penalty with units within 1 to 5 meters away, so it ain't just because of the cover, but weapons also count very heavy on the hit chance. 5 minutes in, I think that's a translation error for reasons that become apparent later. The purpose of hitting half and half is purely just so a player can get more combo hits to get to the 1000, 150, 200, 100, 150, 200, 250 hit combos to unlock more battle actions. It has no other valuable purpose from what I've played. First off, King Arthur has a really high attack. Press R1 and B to see his full stats. Second, when he's at his last few percent of hit points, he indeed does go berserk mode and starts assaulting the party with lightning thrust and a 3-part hit lunge attack that can pierce through enemies to wipe through the whole party. When he's low, you have to use Edna or Sore to land earth or physical attacks on him to keep him stunned. Using a weakness is what begins the power hit combo. When numbers turn red, once the weakness is exposed with a power hit, every attack from any source of damage, even a source that would otherwise be resisted, becomes a power hit, which gets multiplied by the power hit multiplier at the top right. So after you get him in a power hit combo at the last percentage, wait until an ally has him in full combo before holding the right trigger mid-combo to unleash your Banish Blast and finish him off. I want to point out they hadn't even told me how to use Banish Blast at that point. I think they introduced that like missions later, but maybe not. I knew how to do it, so they must have told me how to do it, but they forced me to do it later. That's not important. I'm getting sidetracked. Use the pyramid that's in your inventory. It gives you the second pyramid, which is probably the most important item in the game. Hope you do more of these. I love this game. If you make a tower of people and attack with the person holding the tower, everyone in the tower will get the experience. This means you keep combining the enemies like you are. You probably want to make a tower and attack instead of having one character get all the experience. You're really bad at this game. Nice video, keep up the good work, man. Yay! There is no correct way to say my name. It's a botched up word. Was originally the hammer from my forum name. Also, there's too many overloads with no overload. Overlords with no overload. Seriously, Zeroken, you too? Doesn't that just mean Zeroken's not an overlord? I recommend using the DLC for Rasbarrel or PETA. It helps a lot. Kensei accent. I love that accent. Doesn't really convert well into Southern in my opinion, but well, some things don't really localize well regardless. Heh. Edit. I'm starting to regret playing this on Chaos difficulty. Money and Grade is great, and I think I'm getting drops meant for areas way beyond the point I'm at, but let's put it this way, I'm level 22 and the mobs here are 40, lol, though they only get 20 to 40 experience points, and I'm at the same point as you. Edit 2. To clarify how the Squire's pact is affecting him, he doesn't have enough resonance, so he's sharing his with her, and that strain is costing him. In this case, he's going blind in his right eye. I think the reason for the Kara world is up to aptitudes, which I believe is the growth rate for the stat upon leveling. Ability slots are pretty good too. I'm also saying this without doing any research, so it's possible that there may be other ways of getting those. God, the controller interface is awful. I'm enjoying these videos and having utility is always good, but many people disregard the Magic Knight's powers. Ninja is a high counter character with high speed and high hit. Gunners have the best gun and longest weapon range, only challenged by mages for spell range. Happy that you are using a Magic Knight though, one of my favorite classes. Also, I will say, test the classes and get a feel for which ones you like and which ones you don't like. That will make later... I think the way that I'm zoomed in is like making comments not show up properly. That'll make later game a lot easier since you will know their strengths and weaknesses. That was a weird effect. First of all, thanks for this. It's been an amazing game, and the DLC is like no other proved to be... and the DLC is like no other proved to be amazing as well. I cannot express how much sorry I feel that it will not it will be no more regular uploads for your videos of The Witcher, but luckily you'll be doing some side questing and field clearing from time to time. Especially Gwent quests would be great to see if you collect all the cards. Of course, I'm looking forward, like no other game ever, to the new DLC, and I hope that it will be at least as good, if not better. My only complaint the developers have, why did they have to put this cool last quest in almost total darkness? Makes no sense that it would allow people to see that, makes no sense that at all to disallow people to see that great design. Talking about Gwent, I got really excited to hear Odim talking about a Gwent game as a final challenge, but under his own conditions. I've immediately start imagining a real person Gwent game, since all the cards are based on characters of the game. Of course, it would be all imaginary, but just seeing a field divided into Gwent areas and all the characters piled up as your deck would be really cool, I think. You can remove mods for your weapon and equip them on better ones. Example, take mag from your secondary sniper and put them on your primary. How do you use a Molotov cocktail? Loading more comments, because we're still not in 3 days in yet. You can disarm mines with the demolition skill. Some characters get a really long list of attacks that scale with strength, and there are times where you might have to play through a map over 100 times to level up a character. This is why you can lock abilities during battle. Locked abilities don't appear on your list when you select them. It may seem like a few seconds, but when you replay a map over and over again, it adds to a lot of time saved. Yeah, like most Disgaea games, one good mage with fire specialization is still the nuclear option. Also, the female mage is better in Disgaea 5. Spells get really expensive to cast later. I should warn anyone who's never played Disgaea before, whatever you do, don't kill your own allies. And there we go. That is... the next one says 3 days ago, so that's the... last, all those comments are all the comments that happen in roughly the last... oh, the highlight started over, weird. Anyway, those are roughly the comments that happened in the last 3 days-ish, basically. Oh, there was more comments. The Zoom made the comment load weird, so it didn't even load all the way in. One of the reasons that, let's see, I feel like you changed your focus to content more than community. One reason I felt so good was seeing you participate with the community. Now it's little to none. Sorry if this is a phase you have due to hectic schedule, but I just wanted to let you know that that we would want you to talk. We would want to talk to you more. And I mean, there's opportunities to talk to me. I stream from time to time where I'm talking directly to the audience. That's more or less the purpose of a stream, because, I mean, except for when I stream Divinity, that's me recording a Let's Play and just happening to stream it because some people like to watch it that way, but I'm mostly interacting with Wanderbot. But I do streams from time to time when I find time, but it's hard to explain just how tough it can be to find time when you're trying to do what I do. It's an RPG channel, and a lot of you are here because you want to watch RPGs, but turns out RPGs are really long and time consuming, and so making an RPG channel is really long and time consuming. And unfortunately, I can't do it full-time as like my actual main job, because that doesn't pay enough at the moment, so I have to do my real job, so quote-unquote, on top of that, which means that I'm just busy all the time. And one of the sacrifices is, yeah, I can't type out responses, because if I take the time to type responses to all these comments, that just the ones for the last few days, that would probably take hours. Even just scanning through and making the active decision over and over again, whether like trying to actively find more comments to respond to, that would still take hours. And hours means I don't get to edit videos that night, or maybe we make 4 fewer videos, and say Zestiria and Disgaea and Divinity, and every single series I'm doing becomes an every other day series instead of just some of them, because I can't record them every day because it takes too long. Today I spent an hour and 10 minutes recording a 30-ish minute episode of Wasteland, because that game has a lot of downtime and walking around and stuff like that, and I would just not be able to do that because I'm responding to comments like 444 unlucky but makes sense since Death X4 for orcs, or something. Or someone's story about how their PS4 was stolen. I know these comments exist. Like, I read these comments because I get emails about all of these comments. Like, I do get notified about all these. I am reading all of your comments, even the ones that are dicks, that are telling me that I suck at games and stuff like that. You. Like, I know these comments exist because I get emails about them all and I read them. But following up on those and researching, looking up the specific comment you saw and trying to remember it so that I can go look it up later when I get home from work, and then responding to it and trying to have a thoughtful response because I don't want to have dumb automated placeholder responses are hard. So unfortunately, yeah, it gets harder and harder to try to make people feel like they're special, because as time goes on, they kind of become less special because there are a lot of you guys now, and it's difficult to talk to you all. And so, I don't know, if you give me advice in a game and I use that advice in the episode, that's cool. That's clear evidence that I took it to heart. Unless I just happened to do it already and you just happened to give me advice on something that I was going to do already, but whatever. Just feel like I did that. It's fine. You can feel like you helped. And I respond to tweets all the time because there's a bunch of like responses to things over on here where I'm talking to people. A lot of Jesse Miller and Seath and Shadow Scale, and not as much responses, but getting interacted a bit with like Snow and Tiger Tasty and a few other people on Sebastian SB on Twitter. I interact with people, but yeah, there's limitations on how much I can do. And it's worth noting that these comments, some of them are on the newest videos, but some of them are like this guy, part 20. That's not one of my most recent 15 videos. That video probably came out 2 months ago. And someone commented on Demon Souls. That's some of my first videos I made ever on this channel. Orcs Must Die. That's something like 8 months old on the channel. And so, not only do I get a lot of comments, they're not even in my most recent videos, they're on all my videos. And so it's going to be hard, in general, for you to find responses that I make, because even when I do make responses, I have a lot of videos. I have something in the ballpark of like well over 2,000 videos, or at this point, if I remember correctly. And so, while I do have my responses, they can be all over the place. That's not... Let's try it. That's the name that would show up, huh? So yeah, I responded to this guy 4 days ago. I was talking to these guys in Beginner's Guide 5 days ago, and left this comment 5 days ago, and responded to this guy 5 days ago. Responded to this guy 5 days ago. About a week ago, I responded to this guy, and then they talked back and forth for a while. Here's a comment from a week ago. A bunch of comments. There's definitely more comments last week than this week because they're all over the place, and I'm talking to a bunch of people here. Like I'm leaving comments, but you're not gonna see them realistically unless you're the person I'm responding to. Just because I have so many videos that if I make if I make 3 comments a day, that's 3 comments among 6 videos, and people don't even watch every video, so the chances that they're going to see that comment is kind of remote in its own way. And so who knows? This is just a rambling, long-ass video, but I'm just trying to explain because I do feel bad for not always interacting with people the way that they might want me to, but but at some point, you can't. At some point, there's so many of you people all the time, and I'm working 2 jobs basically, and then trying to find time to actually sleep a decent amount at night, and it's not always tenable. So it's one of the things that does decrease over time because yeah, I'm not that unemployed student that I was when some of you guys met me, when I would respond all the time, because that person made like 1 video a day and had infinite free time as they sat around doing nothing besides looking for jobs to apply to here and there, and otherwise just hanging out and watching Weeds and whatever stuff I could find on Netflix because I had nothing going on. I'm not that person. I went from working not a job and making like 1 or 2 videos a day to working 2 jobs and making like 6 videos a day, and I'm not the same person now. And I can't be, because I can't sit around and not be an adult. I have to actually work on things to make money. And that means I can't be there to chat with everybody all the time, all day. And that's just a reality. And I'm sorry, but also, it's gotta happen. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching like always. Be sure to feel free to follow me on Twitter. It's another way in. And if you don't have Twitter, well, that's not my fault. I can't cater to literally everyone. I get daily lessons on the fact that I can't cater to everyone. So thanks for watching, guys, like always, and I will see you next time. And I think I did that outro 10 minutes ago, technically, but I ramble. It's what I do. I've been talking to myself for hours a day for like 2 years now. Bye.